happens if there's an actual meat shortage? Over the last few weeks, COVID-19 has forced companies like Smithfield and Tyson Foods to shut down some major meat processing facilities. We could be looking at shortages or at least much higher prices. Not yet, but in the not too distant future. Now, this is not a great situation for carnivores, but maybe this is an opportunity for the plant-based meat alternative plays. See, there's a reason why Beyond Meat's formerly down in the dump stock has rallied more than 60% this month. But what about the other major player in the plant-based meat space, Impossible Foods? This is a privately held company that apparently just raised $500 million in a fundraise, valued the company at $4 billion. That's up from $2 billion last May. Now, Impossible is a bit different from Beyond Meat. For example, they use, genetically modified organisms, also known as GMOs, which may turn some people off, although the consensus seems to be that it makes for a better tasting product. Impossible is also more reliant on restaurant sales, which is not great right now, though they're working to build out their supermarket distribution. So with the traditional meat business hobbled by the pandemic, let's take a closer look at the plant-based meat business with David Lee. He's the Chief Financial Officer of Impossible Foods. Mr. Lee, welcome to Mad Money.
Oh, it's great to be here, Jim. Thanks for having us.
All right, so David, I first had my Impossible Burger when I went to see a San Francisco Giants game last year, Mother's Day, and it was just delicious. And I said, you know what? This is a fabulous showcase. They got to get them out in restaurants, see them like this. Now I'm wondering, without the showcase, because so many places are closed, are you still able to get the word out as well?
Well, the word has gone out already, Jim. You know, we are on the march in grocery. We announced this week that we are going to be at 500% more locations, a 5x increase. Soon we'll be at 1,000 grocery locations. And the home chef, just like the restaurateur, enjoys this Impossible Burger because it's craveable and delicious, but it makes you feel better about your health and your impact on the world.
Now, how about these problems with these? We saw there's a Tyson plant that's closing, the Smithfield. Now, we listened to Dr. Gottlieb, former head of the FDA, and he said, listen, you shouldn't be afraid of getting COVID from those different meat packing. But at the same time, I think America says, you know what? Maybe the problem is the packing houses. And I want to be with plant-based. Are you seeing or hearing that kind of chatter?
Well, I mean, 95% of our consumers are hardcore self-avowed meat eaters, and they're choosing the Impossible Burger and hopefully soon Impossible Pork made from plants because they want a craveable, delicious piece of meat, and they're meat eaters. But they don't want to feel guilty about the fact that their current choice has cholesterol or has an impact on the world. We think meat eaters are waking up to the fact that Impossible Burger and Impossible Pork is a better choice, one that hits the spot, hits all the craveability, but at the same time makes them feel better about who they are.
Okay, so let's talk about the GMO issue. I ate an Impossible Burger, and then candidly, I had a second one. I mean, I shouldn't have done it because I'm trying to. It isn't like there's no weight involved. But my daughter said in the middle of it, she goes, Dad, do these have GMOs? And I said, yes, they do. And she goes, do you think they taste better because of GMOs? Because I prefer not to eat GMOs if I can. Is it better tasting for most people? And give me what you think about the idea that a GMO, as we know, may not be as good as natural.
Well, first, the Impossible Burger has the same molecule that Mother Nature makes called heme, H-E-M-E. We think it's one of the only things in the world that can convey craveability and juiciness, deliciousness, if you're eating a piece of meat and you're a meat eater. No one else has figured out how to make heme from plants. The heme we use, we found naturally occurring in plants, but we do make it using genetic modification. We're proud of that, Jim. We are betting that meat eaters are smart, that once they know why food is made the way it is, how it's made on a level playing field, they'll make the right choice. And so far, with the unprecedented demand we're seeing for Impossible, we think meat eaters, well informed by how we make the product, are happily choosing us.
Now, how about the distribution end of food service? That's got to be hurting right now, correct?
Well, there's no question that the COVID crisis has really impacted our restaurant partners. But we've seen them innovate, and we've tried to support them as they innovate. You know, whether it's Burger King that sees a large percent of their business now in drive-through where the Impossible Whoppers enjoyed, to our distributors who are now able to sell our raw product, raw Impossible Burgers, direct to meat eaters at home, so home chefs can cook it up, treat it how they want on their own. So we're seeing innovation in the face of this crisis, and we're trying to support both our customers in food service as we move in to being at a nearly 1,000 locations in retail and your grocery.
Well, let's talk about the pork for a second. That would be fabulous. How soon? How soon before we have that?
Well, I can only tease the fact that our reaction from our customers has been unprecedented. Soon enough, you're going to hear about major partners roll out the Impossible sausage product made from plants. But I'll remind you that we have a global mission. Pork could be one of the most ubiquitously consumed meat products globally. And with these pandemics, with the swine flu and now the COVID crisis, we think we need to make products that are not just great for American meat eaters like us, but for the world, for Asia, where people enjoy pork, they enjoy fish, they enjoy beef. We're working hard eventually to offer all those options made from plants.
How about some chicken tenders?
Well, again, we haven't announced any dates for the products that are to come, but I'll tell you, when Pat Brown, our CEO, founded this company in 2011, he did so with an incredibly large ambition to be relevant to meat eaters everywhere, to provide meat made from plants, just as delicious, but better for themselves, the meat eater, and the world, wherever meat is consumed. And so we got a lot of work to do, and I wouldn't be surprised if one day you see us offering nearly every meat in our way made from plants.
Well, I think it's a very exciting development. It truly is. I happen to admit, I like Beyond too, but I have to tell you, that Impossible Burger outside watching that giant game of Mother's Day, holy cow, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it was so much better than a regular burger. You're terrific. Thank you so much to David Lee, CFO, Impossible Foods. Stay with Cramer.
Don't miss a second of Mad Money. Follow @Jim Cramer on Twitter. Have a question? Tweet Cramer. #MadTweets. Send Jim an email to madmoney@cnbc.com or give us a call at 1-800-743-CNBC. Miss something? Head to madmoney.cnbc.com.